This is my national exam prep practice test on property ownership. 9 exam questions plus answers and some test tips along the way. I will have other practice quizzes about the other national exam prep topics coming very soon. Each of my practice question videos will have typical exam questions. I'll provide the answers and some test tips and hints after you finish the 9 questions. So pause the video along the way if you need more time to answer any particular question. As always, I encourage you to take notes during the videos. Here's your first question. Question 2 coming up. And number 3 soon. And number 4. I'll give you a little extra time on this one. And number 5 is coming soon. And 6. Seven is on its way. We're almost at number 8. And here comes your final question. Remember, it's important to read the questions very carefully. And that concludes all questions. Well, let's go ahead and review the answers along with some test tips and hints that'll help you when you get to your real exam. Answer to number 1 is letter D. Reading the question carefully, I hope you did, it asks all of the following are true of real property except, it's another typical except question you'll see, because ownership does not transfer with a bill of sale. It transfers, of course, with a deed. Number 2, the answer is letter D. All the above statements are true. It was once personal property. It became a fixture through the process of attachment. You should look up what's the process it would have to go through to go back to being personal property. Answer to number 3 is letter B, appurtenances. You'll need to know that word for your exam. Appurtenances include what? The improvements, rights, and fixtures. Now they're also listed on the exam answers there, except appurtenances is the most correct answer because it includes C and D. Correct answer to number 4 is letter B. They cannot be sold separately. And good for you if you got that right because it meant you read the question very carefully. Look at the question. All of the following statements are true about property ownership except. So what are they looking for in this question? The one item that's false, and that turns out to be letter B. All the other statements are true. Answer to number 5 is letter A, joint tenants. It's the only one that has the right of survivorship. Tenants in common does not have that right. Ownership and severalty is one person only. And an estate for years is not an ownership estate. It is a leasehold estate. Correct answer to number 6 is D, life estate. You deal with freehold estates and leasehold estates. Freehold estates are the only estates that deal with ownership. Remember, your leasehold estates deal with possession and use. So the first 3 answers here are leasehold estates. They do not deal with ownership. But with a life estate, the life tenant owns the property just like any other owner would until typically the day they die. Number 7, correct answer D, a cooperative. It's the only type of property that the grantee is who? The buyer does not receive a deed. Remember what a buyer does get when they buy into a cooperative? They get shares of stock and a proprietary lease to use one of the units. Remember for your exam, cooperative, no deed. Number 8, the correct answer is A, lot and block or lot and tract. Okay, typically used primarily by developers in urban areas. Good to review before your exam the different types of legal descriptions and who typically would use them or where they're found. The correct answer to your last question is letter A. They run with the land. A is the correct answer. The key to this question is reading the question carefully. It's what I call a double negative except question. Let's take just a quick look. All of the following are not true of easements except. So what is the question asking you? Which one of the statements is true about easements? Why do they ask it that way? You must know this for the exam. It's because the exam is very much a reading comprehension test as well as a fact-based knowledge test. So read your questions very carefully. I actually did a short video on double negative except questions. Worthwhile, look it up. Well, I certainly hope you did well here and found the information helpful. You can find more information about property ownership on my property ownership video in my lesson playlist. Also, I'll have additional 9-question practice test videos on the other exam prep topics coming soon. So, you know my goal is to help you pass your exams. I wish you great success in your career and on your exam. And if you like my videos, please hit the icon down below and always feel free to share, comment, or subscribe. I'd appreciate hearing what you have to say.